For this fight, it's not cheap.
The president seeks $33 billion to defend Ukraine. What the money will do. Plus, Russia strikes Kyiv just as the UN chief visits the city. A COVID shot for kids under 6. Moderna asked the FDA for the green light.
Safety profiling these kids is exactly what we would expect.
The tough questions still ahead and the new timeline. The U.S. economy suddenly shrinks.
GDP, first look, first quarter, is a nasty minus 1.4.
What's behind the drop and why Wall Street and the White House are shrugging it off.
I'm not concerned about a recession.
A former NYPD cop takes the stand in his own defense, accused of beating a fellow officer on January 6th. What the ex-cop told the jury. The day of reckoning comes for menthol cigarettes. Electric vehicle activists sue the Postal Service. And off the grid, we go inside America's lost city.
Live from
Shock and horror in a small town, Wisconsin. A community in mourning over the murder of this 10-year-old named Lily Peters. Tonight, the new information on her death, her suspected 14-year-old killer, and how social media may have helped crack the case. Allegations flying over the FBI's handling of the New York subway shooting case. Why lawyers for the suspect say the feds violated the law and what that could mean for key evidence. Plus, a rise in startups that diagnose people virtually. It's sparking concern. Why some of America's biggest pharmacies say it could be leading to way too many prescriptions of one certain drug.
We have just established a mis- and disinformation governance board in the Department of Homeland Security to more effectively combat this threat, not only to election security, but to our homeland security. We are addressing all aspects of election security, given, of course, the midterm elections that are upon us and the fundamental integrity of our democratic processes that is at stake.
Can you give us an idea of what this board is going to be doing, what their authority would look like?
Sure, Jackie. I really haven't dug into this exactly. I mean, we, of course, support this effort, but let me see if I can get more specifics. We know that there has been a range of disinfo out there about a range of topics, I mean, including COVID, for example, and also elections and eligibility, but I will check and see if there's more specifics.
Today, Dustin.
Can you give us an idea of what this...
After Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter this week, they've lost their grip over the one thing that helped them win in 2020 more than anything else, perhaps, control over big tech. So now they're desperate, and they're willing to do anything to hold on to this power, and they see it slipping away, even if it means creating a state-led censorship division, where instead of relying on big tech, they'll just do it themselves. So pollsters are saying it. And after Elon Musk's purchase division, where instead of relying on big tech, they'll just do it themselves. So Joe Biden's goal is to control the discourse and soften the blow come the midterms. Censor anyone that points out the obvious, that Democratic policies so far have failed the American people spectacularly. Force out anyone that points to his mishandling of the border, his record on high inflation numbers, out-of-control crime. Most of all, his role in his son's overseas business deals. Not just his son, but his role in it. And Joe Biden just happens to be putting the job in the hands of the biggest misinformer of truth that he could find. A woman named Nina Jackowitz, who earlier this week reacted to Elon buying Twitter with this statement: "I shudder to think about if the free absolutionists were taking over more platforms, what that would look like for the marginalized communities, which are already shouldering disproportionate amounts of this abuse." Really, marginalized communities on media. But let's do it with the proper thought and consultation, with the nation's best interest at heart. Now, with the sweep of a Sharpie in response to a specter of political censorship that doesn't exist. Sound like she's worried about Republicans having too much freedom? It does to me.
General concern about Trump supporters potentially showing up armed to the polls to intimidate people and quote unquote watch, and that's very disturbing.
Authenticity, we should view it as a Trump campaign product. Top repair shop. Needless to say, the Washington Post and New York Times said it's all.
Well, I can't even. I have literally lost my ability to even.
Whoa, let's calm down.
What was it? Some sort of tragic loss? Death in the family? No one misgendered you, did they?
No, it's even worse. Elon Musk wants to buy our company.
All right, another one. All right, just tell me, what is it about Elon buying Twitter that actually bothers you? And remember, this is a safe space. There's no judgment here.
If he buys our free speech platform, people will be able to have free speech on our platform.